What's going on, everybody? Coach Gamble back, man. Another installment of our memory verse of the week. This week, we're all having the same verse. So if you're watching this verse, it's the right verse for 6th grade, 8th grade, 11th grade, and 10th grade. All right? It's Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." You know, it's one of these scriptures that we should all try to write on the tablets of our hearts. First of all, we have Solomon, who is instructing his son, hey, listen, as you grow up and as you become a man and you start having to make decisions, I want you to make sure that you have this relationship with God. Hey, let me explain this. The biblical picture of the God we serve is that he is a relational God. That he's a God of relationships. Now, I know some people may not really dig all of that, but we call him Emmanuel. He's the God that dwells among his people. Like, he wants to be involved in our lives, and he wants to be the one that we talk to about the things that we decide to do. And so here he's telling his son, he said, listen now, trust him. Trust in the Lord because he's God. Put this in perspective, right? He's Alpha, he's Omega, he's the beginning and the end. Everything started with him and going to end with him. He's the one with the supreme intelligence. Like he really has a better understanding of things than what we do. And here's the thing. We may be intelligent, we may be smart, but he's smarter. We may have wisdom, but he's wiser. We may have a little bit of education, but there's no education that supersedes the knowledge that our God has. So he's telling his son, listen, you have to trust God even more than you trust your own emotions. Why, Coach Gamble? Well, our emotions rarely parallel the will of God. You know, you experience that, well, today you feel like this, but then you change that heart, and tomorrow you feel like this, and you don't want to do that anymore when you really thought you once wanted. See, it changes, and it can be confusing. So he's telling him, trust in the Lord, man. He's the one who has the best understanding. Trust in the Lord. You know, sometimes we look in the Bible and we see some things that we may not, necessarily agree with. Maybe there's some things in there that we may not want to do or not do, if that makes sense. But you understand what I'm saying. But he says it's better for you to trust him than for you to just walk away from him. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. You know, Romans 8:28 is a great cross-reference scripture here where it says that he takes all things and works them together for our good. And sometimes that's confusing because how can God allow certain things and how can he cause those things that are so negative to work out for our good? But that's why we call him God. Otherwise, he wouldn't be God, right? Trust in the Lord with all your heart. And watch what he says. And lean not to your own understanding. Because sometimes it's our understanding of things that gets in the way. Because we don't understand this, because we don't agree with this, we struggle in our relationship with him. But he says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't rely on just your understanding of things. Because your understanding is limited. So just trust him. And I know that's one of the toughest things in life for us to do, especially when hardships come our way and situations come our way, things we can't figure out, turning left, turning right. What do? He says, lean not to your own understanding. But he says, in all your ways, acknowledge him. This is where this relationship comes in there. He says, when you can't figure things out, acknowledge him. When you're confused, acknowledge him. This is the part where young adults start struggling at a little bit. He says, acknowledge me in all of your ways, and I will direct your paths. Now, here's a question for you. When's the last time you talked to God about that person you thought you might want to date or make your boyfriend or girlfriend? Or that school you wanted to go to? When's the last time you talked to God and said, well, God, should I do that? Should I do this? He says, in all your ways. Sometimes we interpret this to mean in spiritual ways, right? Like if I want to be a preacher or something. No, he says, in all your ways. I'm in a relationship with you. I want to talk to you about every little thing in your life. All your ways, and I will direct your path. I'll be the one to tell you to turn left, turn right. I give you that feeling of the heart. I give you a peace on what you should and what you shouldn't do. You understand? This is the beauty of our relationship with Christ, that he wants to talk to us as much as we want to talk to him, and he wants to be with us as much as we want to be with him. That is beautiful. Okay? Listen, as always, you're going to have to explain this verse, quote this verse, and show how you apply this verse to your life. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm an adult now. I'm married. I've got children. Man, this verse means a lot to me because I have to talk to him about how I raise my children. I have to talk to him about how, I relate to my wife. It's a pretty big deal. All right? Coach Gamble loves you, man. We'll talk to you real soon.